Hello, I'm DJ Oliver and welcome to Detroit Performs. Today's episode is loaded with pop culture from films to animation. I'm here at 4731 Gallery, located, I'm going to shock you here, at 4731 Grand River Avenue. The gallery is also home to 31 artist studios. We'll be working ourselves around this place during the episode. Now, let's start off with our first feature. When people think film festivals, the first thing that comes to mind is Cannes or Sundance. But Southeastern Michigan has an international film festival of its own, Cinetopia, started by Michigan Theater CEO Russ Collins. The event, which now spans from Detroit and Ann Arbor, offers audiences a unique way to appreciate film and engage in the filmmakers they admire.
I'm the Executive Director, CEO of the Michigan Theater, which includes the Michigan Theater, the State Theater in Ann Arbor, the Cinetopia Festival in Detroit and Ann Arbor, and the Art House Convergence. I've been the Executive Director for 32 years and begin my 33rd year a little later in the year. We do classic films, we do documentary films, we do contemporary first-run art house films, and every so often we'll even do a first-run contemporary large-release film. Cinema is a very complex, a very diverse, and a very, very expressive art form. When people say, there aren't any good movies out there, you know what? There's a lot of good movies out there. You sometimes just have to open yourself up to them. Cinetopia has about 40 or 50 films in it, depending on the year. Those films have been selected from these great festivals like Toronto, like Sundance, like Tribeca, like Berlin, like Cannes. You're almost guaranteed to see a good movie, maybe even a great movie. We can't guarantee that you're going to like every movie, but we can guarantee that they're very good films. Film festivals provide you an opportunity to experiment, to expand your aesthetic horizons, and experience movies and new directors and actors and writers that you might not have otherwise encountered. Most major cities in the United States, and in fact all over the world, have international film festivals. But a rather large-scale international film festival that shows the best films from all over the world hasn't really grown in a big way in Detroit. We got started 3 years ago, and it's worked out pretty well so far, but we still have a long way to go. The natural partner, it seemed to me, was the Detroit Institute of Arts, the Detroit Film Theater, and Elliot Wilhelm and his staff down there that put together the Detroit Film Theater program. Elliot and I have talked about doing some kind of festival for years and years and years. And about 5 years ago, we contacted each other and said, hey, you know, let's think about doing this a little more seriously. Talked for a couple of years and then started launching Cinetopia. Going to a film festival is definitely different than just going to a movie. And at a film festival, unlike most screenings, you actually get to rub elbows and meet and talk to the filmmakers, which is another exciting thing.
So one thing you often find...
John Sayles and Spike Lee are two great American independent filmmakers that really typify the type of movie that Cinetopia does.
Fight the power.
Besides Spike Lee and John Sayles and a lot of other folks who you may recognize from the movies, there were folks that were new to the movies, or they were documentary filmmakers that are very well respected, but their names aren't widely known. John Sayles may be, you know, the quintessential American independent filmmaker. He came to screenings in Detroit and in Ann Arbor, just any screening that was of a John Sayles film, and you got to hear him introduce the film, you got to hear him do a Q&A session after the film, and then you probably had an opportunity to have your own little private conversation as you either walked into or walked out of the film. And that's the case for the majority of films that happen during Cinetopia, or any good film festival. There are a lot of youth that are passionate about cinema. Ann Arbor, which is one of the sites for Cinetopia, as well as Detroit, is obviously the home of the University of Michigan. They have a Screen Arts and Cultures program. We have opportunities for the students to participate in the symposium. This year it was on John Sayles. filmmakers, John Sayles, Maggie Renzi, his producer and life partner, actors who worked with John Sayles come for these kinds of symposiums. And there's a really great opportunity to both learn about the filmmaker and learn more about what the nitty-gritty of making a movie and creating that illusion that cinema is so brilliant at doing. And there's a lot of very exciting dialogues that can happen and do happen.
To see films that are unfamiliar, and film festivals absolutely are part of that conversation.
Whether you go to Cinetopia or Toronto or Sundance or Tribeca or whatever, it's great to experience that diversity, that range of cinema that is actually out there and being made today. Cinetopia, we hope, is a way for a lot of different pictures to be brought to light. There's a lot of passionate people out there making movies. With thousands and thousands of films being made, some of them deserving more attention than the commercial market will allow, festivals provide that opportunity, and we think it's a very exciting thing, and it's absolutely necessary for a great city, a great metropolitan area like Detroit, to have this kind of festival. Ultimately, we hope to grow the festival so that it's right there with the Cleveland Festival, the Chicago Festival, all of the regional film festivals in great Midwestern cities. That Cinetopia will be right there with those festivals as an exciting and desirous place for filmmakers and local audiences to come experience very interesting and dynamic film from all over the world.
You can learn more about Cinetopia and all the other artists found here today on DetroitPerforms.org.